See you all looking fresh, smiling. And now we have the meeting is live, and I think we can now begin. So I request Sachin sir to please take over. Sachin sir, over to you.
Good morning, students, and good morning all the fraternity who is joining to talk on a tabooed subject rather. But yes, we need to, somebody has to initiate, and we initiated. I'm greatly thankful to each one of you, not only to you, but to your parents, to your teachers, because it takes great courage to break the taboos. I, the activity coordinator of Viraj Ram Centennial School, heartily welcome each one of you in the first ever English debate competition happening in our West Zone. And there are some non-member schools also. So I request Anjum, initially, please let everyone know what AFS is all about and how does AFS works. So let us start with that, and then we can turn to the main competition. Anjum.
Yes, absolutely. Sachin, before we begin, just ensure that both our judges have got access to the Google Sheet so that they can go on with the judgment once the event begins. So kindly confirm once that is done. And most of the students here, they are from the AFS member schools. But for the others who've joined in, I don't know where to begin with. Our school became a part of AFS somewhere in 2016. And after that, we've got so many opportunities to connect. It is not about being a part of competitions, but it is a part, but it is all about meeting people from different cultures. And when I say meeting people from different cultures, it doesn't only mean, having domestic exchanges or having international exchanges or having a host student come to your house and stay for over a year. But it is more about the ability that you develop to respect diversity, the ability that you see in yourself, that how you can love cultures and how you can admire differences. Because I think that admiring differences, we don't talk about it much, but admiring differences is one of the most important 21st century skills. That are you able to look at things? Are you able to interpret, evaluate, and verify your biases and then correct yourself? That ability to suspend your judgments about the things around you. And I think that is what AFS does to us. It just connects people together. It gives you opportunities, and it allows you to see the world through a new lens. And I think that is so important. The self-evolution is so important, and AFS gives us the platform just for that. So thank you so much to all the AFS member schools and the non-member schools for being a part of it. And we hope that the non-member schools come on board with AFS and, increase this tribe. So thank you so much, everybody. Yes, Sachin.
Yes, Anjum, I want judges to ensure that they have got this edit access to them. I have provided. So once judges say that they have got it, then we can move forward.
Got it?
I still have only view access. I'm not able to edit the sheet. So,
ma'am, just check now.
got it. Thank you.
Yes, Anjum, before we proceed, you're muted, Anjum.
So Samina ma'am has confirmed that she has got the access. Meena ma'am, can you please confirm that you have got the access too? Meena ma'am? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes. So once again, requesting the children to please keep your cameras on. We would love to see your faces. We would love to see whom are we communicating with. Thank you.
Anjum, I request you please introduce the judges, both the judges, because they have taken their time. So let our students know who are they, who are these people to, the member of jury.
Wow. So we have these two wonderful ladies, and when I was reading through their profiles, I was just very casually talking to them. But when I read those posts, oh my God, these are like high-profile people that I'm speaking to. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invite and being on this panel. And you know what, Sachin, I hate calling them judges. We have, in fact, in our school, we have stopped calling judges as judges. We just call them as appreciators because they are here to appreciate the views, to appreciate the talents and the thoughts of the coming generation. So the very first person that we have with us is Ma'am Meena. Ma'am Meena, thank you so much for being with us. She is an award-winning author, poet. She's a person who wears many hats. And I think that as I introduce her, I should be telling you that what she is not, because she's almost everything. So, Ma'am Meena, she's an award-winning author, poet, short story writer, social worker, novelist, educator. Besides being a well-known publisher, she is the owner and CEO of the Impish Lass Publishing House, Mumbai. And I'm so happy because because two of my poetries also got published in that. So thank you, Ma'am Meena. And she entered the publishing world in the sole belief that each soul that writes has the right to get published. So I think it's very befitting that she is here today. That means she believes in the power of being heard. So, your profile is so befitting for this event that you are here, ma'am. Meena Mishra, she has served Maharashtra in the field of education for 27 years as an English teacher. She was invited by Bal Bharti and has contributed for the new textbook as a reviewer. She has also been working as the international coordinator for British Council activities for more than 11 years. And as a part of her corporate social
on whatever you say, listen to others' opinions very carefully.
I would request everybody to kindly stay on mute. I would request everybody to kindly stay on mute. Thank you so much for that. So yes, as a part of her corporate social responsibility and as the CEO of the Impish Lass Publishing House, she has provided a platform to thousands of students and teachers to get published under her free publishing project, The Young Bards. And this is so amazing because my students also take this opportunity to be a part of the Young Bards. And this is really a wonderful platform to express yourself. So thank you so much for that, Ma'am Meena. She's a recipient of the Pathbreak of the Year Award by HarperCollins in recognition of practicing innovative teaching methods to help learners construct knowledge. She is a regular contributor to the educational journal Winds of Change, published by one of the biggest academic publishers of India, Madhuban Publications. She has been awarded Wordsmith Award for her short story by Asian Literary Society. And you know what? Her poem was read and appreciated by the living legend of Bollywood, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Ma'am, this is so amazing to have you here, have a person who has been nominated for the prestigious Padma Shri Award in Literature and Education. So thank you so much. We couldn't be more happier and proud and glad that you are here. And you will be the one who will be hearing our students out. I wouldn't like to use the word grading them, but yes, hearing them out and just appreciating their thoughts. Thank you so much, Ma'am Meena.
Thank you so much for my introduction. It's a proud privilege for me to be a part of your event today. And I would love to listen to these young bards, the young talents here. And of course, I won't be judging them and grading them. I'll just be checking what they have for us. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then the next wonderful lady we have here is Miss Samina Manaswala. And she currently heads the nurturing domain at Kaveri Gifted Education and Research Center in Pune. And she's worked with children and youth at the individual and group level. And what a wonderful thing that today she's here with the youth, hearing them out. So what else could be better? Her competencies include designing systems, creating templates, manuals, and workbooks. She is leading a team of psychologists who work in tandem with school systems. And when we say psychology, it encompasses everything what we are going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about social norms. We are going to be talking about social structures. We are going to be talking about social taboos. So I think her profile is just the perfect match for this event. And at Kaveri Gifted Education and Research Center, she has developed programs based on Indian philosophy and values such that they can be aligned to values that children are exposed to in their home environment. And I think when we talk about sex, values are not far enough, because sometimes we just, we just make the mistake of mixing talking about sex and being valued. So let us see what our children do have to speak about this today. And her work has enabled her to work with children from diverse socio-economic groups, which matters so much because I think today every child on this forum belongs to a different background, a different cultural background, a different socio-economic background. So I think it is going to bring in a lot of diverse thoughts to the forum. So, and in the last 10 years of her teaching experience, she has enjoyed bringing work with children, counseling, guidance, and the education system to the classroom teaching and learning process for courses ranging from social psychology, child development, and education psychology. And she loves the outdoors and volunteers as a broad member for Adventures Beyond Barriers Foundation. And I think that we are more open in our thoughts when we are closer to nature. And I can see that in your profile, ma'am. So thank you, ma'am Samina, for being with us and gracing this occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjum, for the amazing words. I'm really looking forward to listening to all these youngsters. It's going to be an enriching experience for me. Thank you.
Sachin, so yes, I think both our panelists are set, and so are our children. So whenever you are ready, I think we're good to go. Thank you.
Yes, we are here to start the competition, and without any delay, may I welcome here the first participant of today's topic. Sex education should be part of school curriculum, and Ishika Mishra from Pragya Bodhini School is going to put her views and opinions for the motion. So over to Ishika.
Greetings to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, but there's a little bit of feedback, Ishika. So is there another device also on at the same time? So if you can take care of that.
Greetings to everyone. I'm Ishika Mishra from PBHS, and today I'm gonna speak for. So
we can still have the echo. We can still hear the echo, Ishika. So by any chance, is your partner also next to you whose probably mic is on? Or if you are using earphones.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Ishika, please continue.
Greetings to everybody. I'm Ishika Mishra from Standard 10th PBHS, and today I'm going to talk for sex education should be compulsory for from standard 9 to standard 12. It's essential for promoting the healthy and informed approach towards the relationships, sexuality, and personal well-being. Age-appropriate sex education can provide students with the knowledge, skills, values, and also they need to make how to make and proper responsible decisions according to it, and navigating the physical and emotional changes that come with their adolescency. Also, it can also help in preventing sexual abuse and unplanned pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections, STIs, and a very common disease that is spreading a lot, AIDS. Also, comprehensive sex education delivered in a sensitive and age-appropriate manner can also empower young people to promote their physical and emotional health, as well as to take responsible decisions. Sex education also addresses body images issues, but it it boosts up your self-esteem, and also it helps students to understand the ethical legal and ethical aspects of sexual behavior. That is important to show the to show the to ensure students' rights and responsibilities are respected. Also, sex education can facilitate communication between parents and students all about these important topics and strengthening the family bondings. Overall, sex education in grade 9 to 12 equips students with the knowledge and skills and the need to take responsible decisions and maintaining their physical and emotional well-being as they are transitioning into adulthood. Also, sex education programs aim to provide a holistic approach towards the things like towards sexual health, and also covering topics beyond the abstinency and focusing on equipping young people with the knowledge and skills that they need to be responsible and informed for. To reiterate my points, sex education firstly breaks up the taboos, and also it is important for youth to take care of their health, and also researchers have shown that education doesn't make kids more likely to have sex, but it increases the odds of having safer sex. Thank you. The forum is open and I'm ready to learn. Thank you.
Yes, sure.
Sachin, can you please announce the name of the other participant who will be speaking against the motion?
Just to announce the name.
Hi, Samina. Hi, Meena. So nice to see you all. So nice to see you all.
Hello,
For the
Seema.
invitation, ma'am.
Oh, I see quite a few children. Wonderful. From Bihani. And Kumar.
So I think, ma'am, you've got nearly 14 schools who are a part of it, I guess. So,
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful. So Meena and Samina, they have a big job to do now.
Yes, but as I was telling them, we have stopped calling the judges, but we call them appreciators because here,
Yeah.
they're just here to hear everybody out. And they were so kind, at the beginning, at the onset, they have made our children feel so comfortable. So thank you for
lovely,
giving
how
us these two wonderful judges, Seema ma'am.
Yeah. They make me also always comfortable. I'm so comfortable working with them. And that is why I immediately suggested that these two should be there.
Absolutely. And as I was reading their profiles, as I read through it, I said it is so befitting
Hello?
because they've always believed in the power of, being heard. So this is
Yeah.
just right.
True, true.
Sachin, can we have the name of the next participant?
Anjum, I'm now going to the class. All the best to all of y'all. Please continue, Samina and Meena. All the best for y'all. As I said, y'all are appreciators now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Anju, actually,
Yes, yes.
we should have all the participants' name pasted number-wise, serial number-wise in your chat box.
It is number-wise in the sheet, ma'am.
No. Here in the chat box, if you post, they know who is next.
Okay. Got it. Ma'am Nirja, can we do that? Can we have their names in the chat box so that the next person knows that he is in line?
Hello.
I think some technical glitch is been taken care of at the back end. So, children, I know that I'm aware that you are aware of the lineup, and soon, if possible, the team will also put it on the chat box. And as soon as we have the next person's name announced, we will go for the next child.
I have done it for you.
Okay.
Hello.
Is this visible to everyone? The list now?
Yes, ma'am, it is. It is. Sachin, if you're there, can we have the next participant? And Ma'am Mishra has been kind enough to put the lineup on the chat also, so even the children are aware. Nirja ma'am, can you confirm? if we can go ahead, or if Sachin will be announcing the names of the participants.
Audible to you?
Are we audible?
Yes, you are audible. Just there is a little bit of echo, but otherwise you are audible, clear enough.
Speaker first.
Hello.
Drashti, you are there, Drashti?
Hello.
A very good morning to all, one and all present here. My friends and judges, myself, Drashti Doshi from Rochi Education System, and I am the student of 11th A. Sex education. Sex
Judges, was Drashti audible when she spoke? Okay, perfect.
Yes, she was.
Hello, ma'am. Is Drashti audible to all? Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sex education should not be implemented in school syllabus as it affects today's generation.
Hello.
Take them into wrong direction. They get interest in this kind of things in wrong way, especially if the school is co-education. Then it is really hard for the teacher to explain or talk about such kind of chapters, and it is shameful about fascinating or meeting the spiritual needs of our children. They public school sex education classes ignoring individual difference among children and break down the natural modesty of boys and girls. Yet when it comes to the extremely sensitive area of sexuality, all children in the same grade level are given the same material, forcing boys and girls to listen to view only discuss the sexual function of the opposite. Should I continue, sir?
Yes, you continue, better.
Please continue.
Forcing boys and girls to listen to view. This is insensitive and not harmful. This means there is absolutely no way parents can control or even find out what their children are being. To judge the quality of education on sexuality that parents provide their children. Sexuality involves more than plumbing and birth control.
Drishti, I'll appreciate if you stay in a good network and then talk. Let us go with other participant, that is Jigyasa. Jigyasa?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, you are audible and we are ready to listen to you. Judges, please note that Drishti is facing some network issue. So candidate number 3, speaker number 3 is speaking. Jigyasa from Javian, Washington.
So can I start?
Yes, start.
A very cheerful good morning to one and all. Honored judges, respected teachers, and my fellow participants. Today, I, Jigyasa Bora of JVM Vasan, class 12, is going to support this topic, sex education as a part of the school curriculum for classes 9 to 12. Sex education is a very controversial topic all over the world, whether it's in India, USA, or anywhere. But it is very important for us to know about this knowledge in order to become a better version of ourselves. And in India, sex education, Indian people always believe that it is not very conservative of us to talk openly about sex. They frown over the idea of introducing sex education as the part of the school curriculum. Whereas I believe that sex education has always been a part of the Indian culture. Why? It is because our ancestors were even more forward and open-minded than any of us. Like, we must have heard about Kama Sutra, which is a pictorial representation of the sexual intercourse. And it was authored by a very famous Indian philosopher. His name was Vatsyayana. According to him, the youngsters must be provided with the sexual education before adolescence. Why is that so? It is because they would then be allowed to enjoy their life in a more comfortable way. They would not feel icky about being in their own body as a series of changes are taking place in their body. For example, menstruation in girls and sleep emission in boys. And they're not very comfortable in talking about it openly. So the World Health Organization is saying the same thing. And adolescence is a period when we have the maximum surge of hormones in our body, and which leads to increase in sexual desires and often encounter risky sexual intercourse, which culminates into unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases like chlamydiasis, syphilis, then gonorrhea, and the most deadly one, AIDS, which is caused by HIV. So in order to prevent all this, we should provide the students with adequate knowledge upon this topic and at the right time in the right direction. According to me, the right time is the adolescence period when the children are going through puberty and a series of bodily changes. Recently, a few months ago, a 12-year-old girl in Mumbai was brutally beaten to death by her 30-year-old brother. Why is that so? How can one be so cruel towards his own sister? It was because she got her first periods, and he misunderstood it as her having an illicit sexual affair with someone. As when he was asking her question, she wasn't able to answer, as she was not completely aware of what menstruation exactly is. This is one of the biggest reasons why we should include sexual education or sex education in our school curriculum. To conclude, we must put down our conservative barriers and accept sex education as the part of the school curriculum in order to be forward and open-minded. So that's it. That was my thought. Thank you.
That was very well put together. Good to hear your views. And now we invite the next speaker to put forth their
Naisha.
Naisa.
Naisa Cheda from Children's Academy, Malad.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity to discuss the given topic. Regarding the motion, I firmly believe that sex education should not be a part of the school curriculum for the students who are studying in grade 9 to 12. To elaborate my statement, Indian traditions and morals do not allow any premarital sexual relationship as these ideas eventually come from the Westerns. Imparting sex education to the young influential minds can very well have the opposite effect from what we desire. It might encourage them to participate in risky sexual behavior and explore things, consequences of which they might not understand or be not able to handle it. In this case, indulging in risky sexual behavior would lead to an increase in the number of children transmitting STDs like AIDS, as well as life-threatening infections, which might lead to teen pregnancies. Well, sex education classes are like in-home sales parties for abortions. We have to ensure the utmost standard of educators imparting sex education to our students. India has a large number of teachers who are not equipped with the skill to appropriately teach and guide the children about sex education. Teachers can possibly end up showing prejudice and discrimination, which might result in the harm to the emotional and psychological well-being of students. What's worse, teachers who are not well trained could end up giving the wrong information to the children, which might have terrible consequences. Sex education is a very controversial and taboo subject in India, and people's opinion about it are quite divided. It is a foreign educational principle that cannot be easily applied to the Indian context. In a cultural, diverse society such as ours, we need to take in consideration the sensitivities of the other various religious groups. The students of international studies cannot be applicable to the Indian society, as our socio-cultural context varies largely from those developed nations. Moreover, states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka have banned and refused to implement sex education in the school curriculum to preserve the Indian culture. It is therefore opinion of most of the policy maker and high government officials that the sex education is not a viable program with respect to the Indian education system. To summarize my arguments, I would like to shed
Hello.
light on the challenges and uncertainties of the Western culture which
Hello.
touches the Indian
Hello.
society.
Please continue.
Hello.
Yeah, I completed with my statement. Thank you.
Jitendra from Bihani, please keep your mic muted, otherwise we will remove you out.
Would you like to speak more, Naisha? Naisa, would you like to speak some more?
No, I'm done with it.
Okay, very well said. Good job. So we invite the next speaker, Sachin sir.
Avni from Delhi Public School, Udaipur.
Hi, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please start. Avni, I hope your network is strong. We are waiting for you to begin, Avni.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are, dear. Please start.
Can you please give a thumbs up because I cannot hear you. If I'm audible, can you please give a thumbs up? Okay. Picture this. If learning about trigonometry or mitochondria is so important for us, shouldn't learning about consent or sexual health be even more important? Being educated about sex is not a crime nor a sin. In fact, not being educated about it leads to crime, which, well, is a sin. According to Legal Services of India, 1 in 9 girls and 1 in 53 boys, please listen to it carefully. 1 in 9 girls and 1 in 53 boys below the age of 18 experience sexual abuse or assault. There are millions of sex workers in our country who are assaulted on a daily basis by uneducated men. And these problems will only be solved once we educate them from a young age by adding sex education in our school curriculum. The more we as a society try to hide it, prevent it, taboo it, the more curious the children will become. That is, secrecy nurtures a rebellious attitude. According to the research, around 12 million teen pregnancies have occurred in our country in the past year. So it justifies that young people are engaging in sexual activity. So instead of being oblivious about it and then facing the consequences later, we should just simply make them aware and make them safe. Or else they will get their information from somewhere else, and that will be through dangerous sources. Young people are being bullied by their peers every day because of various misconceptions revolving around sex. That is why, to put the life and dignity of humans above various baseless ideologies, sex education is a necessity. Now, my opponents might say that parents should be the one to teach their children about sex, which is absolutely correct, but only in theory. Parents are hesitant to talk about it. They switch off the TV the minute an advertisement for contraception appears, don't they? That is why it should be the duty of schools to provide children with accurate knowledge from trained experts. If we have to move forward as a society, we have to make high school students aware about sex education, as it fosters safe sexual behavior, helps in the prevention of sexually transmitted diseases, make them aware about common topics like periods, which most of them aren't even aware of, and help break stereotypes and stigmas revolving around sexuality. So, do we just sit and ponder about why the youth of our country is lagging behind, or work towards their positive development? The choice is in our hands, and it's high time we implement sex education in our high school curriculum. The first step towards change is awareness, and the second step towards change is acceptance. Thank you so much.
That was very well put up. Yes, thank you so much. And now we invite the next speaker, Sachin sir.
The next one is from our own soil, Purva Pathak from Viraj Shriram Centennial School. Over to Purva.
Good morning, esteemed members of the jury and my perceptive audience. At the very outset, I, on behalf of the student community, thank the organizers for this healthy exchange of views on a very thought-provoking topic. Should sex education be provided in school curriculum? This has compelled us to put on our thinking caps and mull over the issue and bring to the fore a topic that is not bandied about much. I am Purva Pathak, delighted to present not just my viewpoints but opinions of my kith and kin as well. And we most vehemently oppose the motion. And to support my stance, I put forward the following arguments. To begin with, sex education can most certainly have a negative impact on thinking process of teenagers, and they can be so easily diverted from their academics. They will lose their concentration, their focus, and they will engage themselves to think over it a lot, and they will divert themselves from their studies. Secondly, teenagers love doing experiments, and they will surely try something that will engage their mind in something else. And sex knowledge will surely engage their mind, and they will divert their mind, and they will surely be diverted. There is a right time for everything, and sex knowledge should be given at the right time and for the right reasons. To school kids? Nah. Furthermore, schools can't be only made responsible for providing sex knowledge, as it is the combined responsibility of parents and school as well. Sex knowledge in an open classroom with teenagers from both the sexes will surely infuse their attraction between them, or even worse. More than sex knowledge, it is the moral values, the value-based education that needs to be expressed, and that is the need of the hour. Can you imagine a scenario on the family dining table that, Mom, please give me some rice, and oh, my classmate Nina didn't know about genital herpes and syphilis. And yes, Mom, the veggies were delicious today. Can anyone actually claim that this is normal? Is it normal? My worthy opponents talk about generating awareness to prevent sex crimes as a reason to provide sex education to school kids. Aren't we taught biology? Don't we study human anatomy and reproduction? Isn't it enough at school level? Do we want to create PhD scholars at school level itself on sex education? We know that all cigarette packets contain unnecessary information that cigarette consumption is injurious to health. Well, tell me, has it restricted the consumption of cigarette in our country? The growing incidences of cancer and heart attacks prove my point, and the answer is no. Sex talks in school pervade, pollute the environment. Must we engage the minds of students to sex-related issues, thereby ensuring even those who are not bothered about it will start wondering about it? Do you think the moment when the bell rings and sex education class gets over, the students will stop thinking about it? Why do we want to drag the young impressionable minds towards cesspool of sex and related topics? Why do you think the elevated states like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Karnataka have banned sex education? And what more? The research reveals that 66% of primary and secondary school level teachers are not equipped with knowledge and skill to impart sex knowledge. I beseech you, my plate is full. Let me concentrate and devote myself to my studies and my career building, and let me be a good human being. Thank you for your time. Jai Hind.
That was a very charmingly put forward, Purva. Yes, we get your point. And Sachin sir, the next speaker is?
The next one is Mridang Shah, Children's Academy Group of Schools from Mumbai.
Sir, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. And you may please begin now.
Yes. Very good morning to one and all present here. Sex education, a highly qualified teaching and learning about the grand varieties of topics related to sex and sexuality. In a world where teenagers are exposed to a wide range of unconcerned information from the web, from the friends and unreliable sources, right? Providing them with the age-appropriate information is the need of the hour. Hence, I firmly believe that sex education should be included in the curriculum for grades 9 to 12, as it empowers our youth. By incorporating sex education into the curriculum of grades 9 to 12, we can address the knowledge gap that often exists among all the teenagers nowadays. Many young adults rely on incomplete or inaccurate information from their own peers, the internet, or popular culture beliefs. which we can lead to serious consequences or health-threatening factors, right? Providing accurate age gap appropriate and evidence-based information in a classroom setting will enable students to have a solid foundation of the understanding, which sets a stepping stone for the further outcome world. While there exists a common misconception about sexual activities, that sex education, it encourages promiscuity among teenagers, but that isn't the case. However, research has consistently shown that comprehensive sex education programs do not increase the likelihood of sexual activities among young adults. In fact, studies have found that students who receive sexual education are more likely to delay sexual intention and engage in safer sexual practices when they do become sexually active. In fact, a study in rural India conducted by Family Life Education that adolescents who receive sexual education were less likely to engage in early sexual activities. Furthermore, some individuals argue with that sex education should be the responsibility of parents or guardians, not the schools. While it is true that parents play a crucial role in teaching the children about sexual health and relationships, but not all parents across the globe know the knowledge or confidence to do this effectively, right? By incorporating sex education into the curriculum, we ensure that all students have access to accurate and comprehensive information, regardless of their family background or circumstances. Including sex education in the curriculum will not prevent parents to controlling what the children learn about sex. It provides teenagers with additional platform to ask questions and seek guidance. Overall, sex education for grades 9 to 12 is crucial in providing young adults with the knowledge, skills, and resources. They need to make the informed decisions about their bodies, relationships, and sexual health. By addressing the knowledge gap, promoting healthy relationships, and creating a safe space for discussions, we can empower teenagers to lead a healthy and fulfilling lives. Hence, I believe that sex education should be included in curriculum for grades 9 to 12. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job. I request students to put forth their own views in a more convincing manner. But, and I was expecting that students might be stumbling, like I said in the beginning. But thank you for your fine repertoire, for a very strong content which most of you are putting forward. Takes us by a surprise. I mean, I can see the appreciators also nodding. Yes, so we now invite the next speaker.
Next one to break up on this issue is Bhavna Devasi from Pragya Bodhini High School.
Please start, Bhavna. No, you are not audible, dear. Maybe she needs to unmute herself. No, Bhavna, we can't hear you. Could you just check whether you have unmuted yourself, Bhavna? Because probably you need to do that. Bhavna, are you there with us?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are now.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Hello, all my fellow mates and my respected teachers. I am Bhavna Devasi from Standard 10th, and I will be speaking for the against motion on the topic, should sex education be included in our school curriculum? First of all, to begin with, the sex education can have a negative impact on the thought process of the children as they're still growing, and their minds can be diverted from their main studies. For example, if sex education is given in an open classroom which includes both the genders, it might infuse a mutual attraction between the two opposite genders. Plus, whether adults or children, have the tendency to try out things that are not safe for them and are dangerous. And this can become a major problem, and hence they can move into a wrong direction. Teaching sex education in schools means that all the children, each of them will be given the same sexual themes, and they will be of the same very age. This one size fits all approach is not appropriate, because all the children mature at a different mature at a different age, and this should be this should be kept in mind. If suppose sex education is being given and the teacher is not present for some time, what are the children going to do? They are going to be looking for the information from their friends. Hence there won't be any hence there won't be any way of controlling how the children are receiving the information. This can become a major pathway of misunderstandings. The children may also glean for a better experience onto the sexual videos, and this will be far more devastating and damaging for the students. We know that no other species requires formal sexual instructions from adults to their children, as procreation is a natural instinct which is inbuilt in all the living beings. Our ancestors have managed perfectly well in the following years, we know that. And so why do we need it now? It is a natural instinct and we should follow it when we have the right age. I believe that it is the moral values which are to be focused on. The love, the compassion that is to be given to our partners and all the people in the world. That matters. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bhavna. It was really amazing amazing one from you to listen. Next one, speaking for the motion is Pooja Patni from Tarapur Vidya Mandiran Junior College.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You can talk.
Yes. Shall I start?
Yes.
Okay. All people deserve accurate sexual health care. Good morning, one and all present over here. Myself, Pooja Jitesh Petni, and I am here to present a speech on sex education should be a part of school. As Brenda Sharp once said, sex education, basic rights and need of all human beings. Moreover, sex education also plays a crucial role in reducing sexual violence and abuse. It teaches individuals about consent, boundaries, and respect for other bodies. It will generate more sex awareness among teenagers, and they would be in a better position to understand the pros and cons of the sex at a young age. Parents don't feel comfortable in talking about sex with their children, and therefore it becomes responsibility of school to give the direction, to give the education them in the proper way. There are many countries where the teen pregnancy rate is high. The proper education will keep a hold on teen pregnancy rates. Sexual reproduction is just a part of science and should be taught in accordingly. Lack of sex educations are in a way which might not be very safe. In the lack of such of knowledge, the mainly become victims of improper sex life, broken relationships, and depression. Proper sex education at school can protect them from all these over. With technological advancements, children have a very easy access to chronologically. If not taught properly, they might end up with wrong friend circle, which might them spoil them. 53.22% of children reported having faced one or more forms of sexual abuse. Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, and Delhi reported the highest percentage of sexual abuse among both boys and girls. It's a matter of concern that accordingly, so it's the need of to include sex education at school level, and let's build a free talk approach among boys and girls at a lower level and make them socially responsible too. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. Thank you.
Yes, well done, Pooja. Let's move forward and listen to Anvi from Children's Academy Group of Schools.
A very
Over
good
to
morning
Anvi.
to one, a very good morning to one and all present here. I'm Anvi Rughani from Children's Academy, and I'll be speaking against the motion. Sex education, a sensitive topic that brings discomfort to almost every teenager across the globe. The level of understanding among teenagers regarding this extremely delicate topic.
Anvi,
Yes, sir.
Anvi,
Yes.
is your camera working? Just check.
Yes, sir.
We can see Anvi.
Sir.
Should
Okay,
I
okay,
restart?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you please restart it. Thank you.
Sex education, a sensitive topic that brings discomfort to almost every teenager across. Extremely delicate topic differs highly from person to person and is contingent upon the emotional, social, and psychological maturity of the individual. In this case, a one-size-fits-all approach is simply not the right way to go about it. Including sex education in the curriculum dictates that every child should learn about the same topic at the same age and in the same manner. While this may work for subjects like maths and science, it does not work with sexual education. Hence, I am firmly against the opinion that sex education should be included in the curriculum for grades 9 to 12. The inclusion of sex education in the curriculum can lead to potential conflicts with cultural, religious, and moral values held by different communities. Parents have diverse perspectives on when and how to teach their children about sexual matters, and the government does not have the right to violate parents' theological beliefs in this manner. Moreover, while receiving sex education from a trained healthcare personnel will provide teenagers with accurate information, it won't be without the personal inputs of the educator. There is no such thing as value-free sex ed. When anything more than the biology of it is taught, someone's values are going to be presented to the teenagers. Telling students to make up your own minds tells them that there are no standards to go by. Telling them that it's best to say no. But if you're going to be sexually active, be protected, sends them the message that the teacher doesn't really expect them to control themselves. This will only lead to greater curiosity among teenagers, and it might lead them to turn to unreliable and uncensored sources in order to satiate their interests. In conclusion, I firmly believe that sex education should not be included in the curriculum for grades 9 to 12. By doing so, we spare our young scholars from any unnecessary discomfort while also respecting parents' rights to impart their values and religious beliefs onto their children as they see fit. Let us always remember that education is inherently multifaceted and diverse, and addressing every viewpoint compassionately is crucial when dealing with matters as delicate as this. Thank you.
Well done, Anvi. Thank you for your thoughtful words. Now let's move forward and welcome Bhumika from Bihani Children's Academy speaking for the motion. Judges, please note the candidate number 11, Bhumika.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, Bhumika, you're audible. You can continue with us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bhumika Garg, and I am from 9th Standard, Team BCA, Bihani Children's Academy, West Zone, Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. And I am the spotter of the topic. Sexual safety is a part of a science, so it has to be taught by both parents and teachers as well. Both boys and girls who are entering to adolescence need to learn all the aspects of physical and emotional changes that they undergo as they grow older. It is the current need to provide the sufficient information about the physical and psychological differences between sexes that they behave differently at different ages. Sex education in high schools help youngsters to be more prepared for life changes like puberty, menopause, etc. It is also observed that girls would not get panicked, afraid, and shocked on their first menstruation if they had already knowledge about it. It is also noticed that parents don't feel comfortable talking about sex-related issues with their children. So, it becomes the responsibility of schools and institutes to provide adequate education in this regard, in the direction at right time.
Sex education in schools will provide the children with the knowledge of understanding the intentions of ill-minded people and those who have covetous eye and how to stay away from them. It is also noticed that in day-to-day life, children and women are violated if they are especially kept ignorant in sex education. Sex education also acquaints sexually transmitted infections to stay healthy. It is also noticed that in rural areas in India, teen pregnancies are increasing enormously. So, sex education will play a crucial role to prevent it. Sex education also helps the children to understand the body structure and internal person relationship among the other sex. As for medical science, the best time to provide sex education when child experiences physiological and psychological changes in hormones and body. Thank you.
Thank you. That was well turned out. And now we invite the next speaker, Sachin sir.
Divyaman Avasti, the Sagar School. Divyaman.
Divyaman, please come.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are, dear. Please start.
A very good morning to all present judges, teachers, and fellow students. I, Divyaman Avasti of the Sagar School, is going to speak about sex education should be compulsory in schools against the motion. Everything has a right time and a right place to it. I also remember from an interview of Umberto Eco, a famous novelist, who told that if he would have published his book, The Name of the Rose, 10 years before or 10 years later, it wouldn't have been that famous like it is right now. Same goes for sex education. Classes 9 to 12 are a crucial stage when students focus on their career building, and one should not get deviated from the path due to sex education. In classes 9 to 12, enough knowledge about the body is given, and I think more than that is not required at that time. If sex education is given during adolescence, it may lead the children experimenting with their bodies as they're going through a lot of hormonal changes during that time. In India, even a parliamentary committee debated about this issue, whether in India sex education should be made compulsory in schools or not. The committee of the Rajya Sabha found that our country's social and cultural ethos are that sex education has no place in the schools. The focus at school level should be totally on skill development and moral and ethical holistic development involving mind, body, and spiritual health. Hence, I rest my case agreeing with the conclusion arrived at by the Committee of the House of Elders, the Rajya Sabha of our great nation. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. That was good. And now I invite on the dais Shravani. May I request now Shravani Devke to speak. Are you ready, Shravani? Yes, you're on. So let's hear you. Go ahead, child.
Good morning, one and all present here. My name is Shravani Shrikant Devke. I am currently studying in class 9th Mercury from Rajaram Kakani Sahakar Vidya Mandir Junior College, Dharmagar. And today I would like to speak about sex education. When the name sex comes, people do not think about organs. It takes away other. What is sex education? Sex education teaches students about sexuality and sex, and gives awareness to students regarding maintaining their sexual health. There are further advantages of sex education. The first advantage is breaking the taboos. There are several taboos and stigmas associated with sex and sexuality. Menstruation is stigmatized in some cultures, and about many myths about it are handed over to younger generations. These beliefs may have a negative impact on their academic performance and mental health. Sex education can debunk these myths and inform the pupils about facts to eliminate stereotypes. The second advantage is ensuring the safety. Sex education raises awareness regarding about how can they keep themselves safe from sexual transmitted diseases like sexual exploitation, sexual abuse, and many other dangers. These beliefs may have a negative impact on their academic performance. Sex education can debunk these myths, inform the pupils about them. sexual abuse, any kind of dangers. With the implementation of sex education in schools, students will be empowered to deal with any challenges and will be able to combat them. Educating gender discrimination. Sex education would empower students to stand up for gender equality in our society. It also helps students to understand the right of their body and such important lessons like important consent in a sexual relationship. The fourth advantage is imparting reliable information. In a technological world, our students can access any type of information from internet. However, it is not necessary that the information they stumble upon the internet would be reliable. The fifth advantage is teen pregnancy. The studies shown that However, studies have shown that teenagers are far less likely to get pregnant. If they undergo sex education classes, they do not. The sixth advantage is reducing sex activity. Young students learn these responsibilities through sex education and can understand the importance of waiting to engage in sex till they are adults and capable to hold it. The most important point is sex education is crime. Awareness about crime. The point comes pedophile. In pedophile, an adult who is sexually attracted to young children. Like the examples of crimes are sexual slavery, sterilization, enforced prostitution, forced pregnancy. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And now from your school only, we invite
Manmat
Shivshetty. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, dear.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start.
Good morning, everyone. This is Manmat Shivshetty here to oppose the topic of sex education. Today, we are going to talk about why the sex education make embarrassing to the curriculum. For example, when a sex class is going on, student may not keep silence. They may chant, they may shout comments, they may laugh, because the topic is very embarrassing to them. And the teenagers, they won't be in discipline. So the controlling class by a teacher may get a difficult challenge to a teacher. So the third point, the next topic which we are going to discuss, that feeling shame and feeling awkward to take some private places. Like teacher will become shame, teacher will become hesitate to take such a names that it may impact bad on a student. Means like reproductive organs name, or may the names which are related to the private place. That was to get embarrassing to that student. Means from that, this may happen that the teacher may lift that point and that may comes in exam. And so the students are facing a lot of problems in their exam. So because of not a clear concept because the concept is not clear in that way, so as they deserve. So this may create a lot of bad communication skill on between teacher and student. And next, religion belief. Some of religion thinks that having sex before learning about sex before marriage is totally wrong, because this may create totally embarrassing environment to their curriculum, their regular studies, and anything else they will do, like experiments, or they may have sexual contact early in their age, because the teen age is the age when the hormonal change, the chemical change in the body takes place continuously. They may damage their body growth and the physical growth of their body, their mental thinking, and the further sex power. This may they may reduce their sex power to having early sex experience. And the next one is India. In India, there are so many people who have shame as like who feel shame to have sex, because they won't be able to study a lot. Means they won't be learn, and they may won't be learn about sex in the schools. But that's not a problem about school. They think that they may have not concentrated after 18 years old. Means no need of having no need of have to learn about sex education before 18 plus students. our Indian government also give us a right to think about Indian government thinks that every citizen have right to vote after 18 years, because a citizen have thinking power. Getting a good thinking power means he can option that what is good and what is bad after 18 years. So below 18 years, the students who are below 18 years, they don't know what is good and what is bad. So they can't grasp only good things from that topic. They may grasp very bad things from that topic. They may do such a crucial activities from that topic. So I suggest, so keep your students out of the reach of sex education. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your views were forthcoming, and yes, you made a few valid points. And now we invite the next speaker on the dais.
Academy, Jash Bhagat from Children's Academy, Thakur Complex.
Yes, am I audible?
Perfectly. Go ahead.
Good morning, fellow peers and respected jury. I am Jash Bhagat from Children's Academy, Thakur Complex, speaking in agreement to the topic. Sex is understood as the ultimate force of creation. The primary purpose of human life is to carry forth the human race. To do so, one engages in the act of sexual intercourse with a partner to conceive a child. This is a verse from the Vedas. Sex education is necessary in all phases of human life. At the age of 10, if a person does not know about good touch or bad touch, he or she will be misused and his life would become a living hell. The child would be molested and he or she would either not know anything about the abuse he is going through or would not have the strength to speak up against it. At the age of 14, the child reaches adolescence and is more curious to know and learn about these things. Most of them do not have anyone to talk about these topics. They are not comfortable sharing it with their parents, and it is not taught in school as well. If the teen tries to look for answers on the internet, he will highly be frowned upon. He may not even get right information the right way. It would be more injurious than helpful. At the age of 18, the child is transitioning into adult now. If he or she does not have the knowledge about these subjects, then he will be the subject of laughter among his friends. This would later turn into depression and have destructible long-term effects. After marriage, the person is now suddenly expected to know about these things, while no adult had given the topic the time of day during childhood. Childhood is the time when a person is shaping himself for the future. It is a time when a person can be taught about good and bad things. After graduating or not graduating or succeeding at life or failing at life, the person will remember his or her childhood. Friends can meet each other regularly, but they still prefer reunions because that is where they can meet their teachers. A teacher has more influence over the child rather than parents. A child will definitely listen to the teacher, but may or may not listen to their parents. A child is anyways going to learn about sexual education from outside sources, but he may even use that knowledge in a bad sense. Won't it be better if the child learns about those things from their teachers, their first idols? The adults can guide them in the right direction. It may be awkward for children to learn about these things from their parents, or it may even be awkward for parents to tell it to children. But a school is a place where we learn everything. Then why not this? This can be a clarification in the right direction to certain misconceptions and rumors present related to these topics. Information about this topic is given in many ancient scriptures. Then why not teach it in school? It should not be that sex education should be taught at a very early age, but the right amount of information should be percolated into the students at different stages. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. That was very nice. And now the next speaker to share her viewpoints is Nivedita. The next speaker I invite is Nivedita. Are you ready, dear?
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, Nivedita.
Yes, we can hear you. Please start.
Yes, yes. Just a minute, ma'am.
All right, we'll give you a minute, but please make that a minute only. Okay, headphones on, and we can see you already. Please start. No, you need to unmute yourself. You're not audible. I can see that you have muted yourself. Yes.
Ma'am,
Please
now I'm
speak now.
audible.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
A very warm morning to all. Today I'm here to address a topic that is widely discussed. Okay, so at the beginning, let me clarify that I am not against the sex education, but I am against the inclusion of sex education in the school curriculum for the student of grade 9 to 12. Let me give you some valid reasons and concerns why we shouldn't include sex education in the school curriculum, especially for these children's. At first, it is crucial to recognize the diversity of beliefs and values within our nations. Families belongs to various religious and cultural backgrounds. So, some parents some parents Ma'am, can you please wait? There's some process.
Nivedita, no need to worry about it. Take your time. Take your time, beta. No need to worry about it.
Actually, sir, there is some issue. Please wait.
But you're perfectly audible. Okay.
Family belongs to various cultural and religious backgrounds, having their own set of models and beliefs. For many parents, teaching about sex and relationship to their children is a deeply personal matter. Mandating sex education in school may infringe upon their parental rights, and this leading into the conflict between what is taught at school and what is taught at the home. The concept of age appropriateness and the matter being presented to them. Sex education often covers the wide ranges of topics, including contraception, abortion, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Some argue that teaching such a complex and sensitive topics to these young students may be inadvertently inappropriate and even harmful. Some concern that teaching sex education in school may encourage sexual activities among the school. Don't forget that we are not an open-minded society like those in the Western worlds. We are the one doing moral policies. Don't forget that we live in a society where when we see a girl and a boy sitting together for some time, we start judging their character. So if there is any need of sex education, then it is needed for the adults, not for the students of this age group. The need is more of creating an environment where they can fearlessly express their feelings and emotion to their parents and the children. What is the objective behind introducing sex education to the student of this age groups? To let them know about sexual orientation, STDs, or to avoid unwanted pregnancies and abortion, or to create awareness about safe sex. What the student will do with these objectives? There is no need of sex education to the student of this age group. Please spare these young minds and let them concentrate on their studies, sports, and arts. Let them concentrate and help them create the base for their future. And why to teach them the rules of the game which they are not even allowed to take part into now. Thank you. Thank you for listening carefully.
Yes, thank you so much. And now the next speaker, sir.
Krishi Panchal from Children's Academy, Malad.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to have an opportunity to speak on this topic. Regarding to the motion, I firmly believe that sex education should be a part of school curriculum for classes 9 to 12. According to the World Association of Sexual Health, Sexuality education is a basic human right that falls under an individual's reproductive rights. Holistic sex education aims to give young minds safe and genuine information about sexuality and sexual health. India has the largest adolescent population in the world, 243 million, with more than 50% of the adolescent population living in the urban areas, indicating an urgent need for the action. Since there is a serious lack of open and honest discussions, you turn to internet to ask questions about the changes they are experiencing. With growing sexual content over the internet and twisted ways in which it reaches the children, it's important to build awareness among teens on both aspects, attraction and sex education. Indian society is rampant with several myths surrounding menstruation and sexual intercourse. In many households, till date, girls during their periods are considered to be impure. Though sanitary pads are a necessity for feminine hygiene, we see them being grabbed in newspapers as though we are smuggling drugs. Sex education would help to change the mindset of such people harboring of such misconceptions. Lack of sex education is a root cause of abuse, as children are unaware of what is happening to them. Educating them properly will potentially lead to significant reduction in child abuse cases. Indian parents shy away from having honest, open conversations about sexual health, mainly due to taboo attached to sex in India. Studies show that 88% of males and 58% of female students in colleges in Mumbai reported that they had received no sex education from parents. Sex education will be beneficial in broadening the perspectives of both Indian parents and children. Sex education helps in making informed decisions. According to Dr. Smita Vasudev, a leading clinical psychologist of India, sex education helps teens make safer and informed decisions in their adolescent year. They get to learn about the hardships and challenges of unwanted teen pregnancies and hence prevent them. It equips students with the knowledge to make healthy choices regarding contraceptions, STIs, etc. Support for LGBTQ plus youth. Inclusive sex education can help young students understand and form their individual gender identity as well, as it creates a more accepting and supportive environment for LGBTQ plus students, reducing discrimination and bullying. When sex education is not imparted to the students in the right way, the students may foray into sex with many ideas and misunderstanding. Proper sexual education has proved to have numerous benefits. It equips students with the knowledge and skills they need to make responsible choices, contributing to their overall well being, delays the start of sexual activity, promotes the practice of safe sex, helps reduce the spread of sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, reduces sex related crimes. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. That was well put forth. And now the next speaker,
Mohit from Jindal Vidya Mandir, Vashin.
Good morning. A world full of innocence, where children do reside, a mind full of curiosity. Our teachers are our guides. To impose sex education, many people fight, but for a children of innocence, do you think, is it right? Good morning, everyone. I am Mohit Thakre from Jindal Vidya Mandir, Wasim, and today I am going to oppose the topic that is sexual education should not be implemented in the school curriculum. Sex education is a very controversial topic. Everyone has difference of opinions, but what I think is that sex education should not be implemented as it endorses and encourages the child to have sex. Also, we acknowledge that by implementing sex education, there will be a reduce in number of teenage pregnancies and also sexually transmitted infections. But don't you think it will affect the spiritual need of the child? Yes, it will of course affect the spiritual need of the child. And also, why only teachers should teach a child to sex education? Don't the parents have any right to teach the child about their development? A parent has a sole right to teach their children about sex. In the same way, when we learn how to walk, our parent takes crucial roles in developing ourselves and guiding ourselves. Also, in the same way, understanding sensitive content like sex and relationships. Our parent holds our hand very firmly and patiently and makes us move a first step. So why not in sex education? Why don't they help in sex education? Why should it be taught by only teachers? Why not our parents? And also, sex education are against the morals and religious objections because it includes contraception, sexual orientation, non-heterosexual behavior, which are inappropriate. And also in our Indian traditions, we oppose sex education as premarital sexual relationship is not allowed because it makes our mind corrupted and has a very bad influence. Also, the Supreme Court has also stated that sex education cannot come under the right to education as a fundamental right because everyone has differences of opinion. Don't you think why religious teachings are not taught in our school? Because everyone has differences of opinion. I follow different religions, someone follows other religions. So I don't, it's not that we are opposing, but we have our own religion. So we will not follow other religion, right? So we also in the same sex education, I don't like it, so another likes it. So there can't be, you can't force us to learn about it. Also, we live in a democratic nation. The dream of equality is our vision, and we don't want sex education. We don't want sex education. Thank you and have a nice day, guys.
Thank you, dear. And now the next speaker is Kinjal. May I request Kinjal to speak now?
Yes, ma'am, sure. So should I start, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible. Please start.
Okay. A very good morning to all. Myself, Sakaria Kinjal, and I'm from the education system, and I'm from class 11A. Okay, so if you say from my point of view, then I would like to say that sex education should be implemented in school curriculum as it raises awareness of the body and changes during puberty. And also, sex education can benefit for both parents and children. As you know that
I think there is network issue with her.
Yes, I can see her picture frozen. Yes, you're back online. Please continue, dear. Never mind the interruption.
okay, thank you. And just because of this, they are not able to see the seriousness of explaining about sex education to their child. And as they are not talking this kind of things to their child, some dreadful incidences occur. If you take recent example of this, so may you all know that one boy killed his sister just because of she was getting her period, and the boy was illiterate, and the girl was totally unaware about menstrual cycles. And just because of it, she lost her life. Do you really think it was okay? Because I don't think so. And it is the time to wake up towards reality. And also the school faculties should not feel ashamed while teaching such kind of topics to the students. It is really very important for today's generation to know what is sex education is. By knowing this, they will also learn self-hygiene due to which they can stay healthy. The spread of HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases in young adults is due to low rate
Sometimes there are technical glitches, so we have to be patient about it.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, please continue.
And not only for this, this also helps girls who are in any relationship before marriage. As you know, that it is very common to having GF and BF, and in this situation, some girls are being forced to for having sex. And so, in this situation, if the girl is very knowledgeable about what sex education is, so she can think then she can suggest her partner to use contraceptive objects, and by using such objects, she can prevent her life. So lastly, I just want to request all the teachers to not to hesitate or feel ashamed by teaching such kind of reproduction chapters to their students, and give them proper information about what sex education is. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. That was well spoken. And never mind the technical glitches. And I can see Shaurya all in readiness. So go ahead, Shaurya. Good luck.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Perfectly. The judges have also given you the thumbs up, which you guys understand best.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, illustrious educators and distinguished guests, permit me to have the honor of addressing on a subject that is of paramount significance, the prospective integration of sex education in the daily curriculum for students traversing the difficult environments of grades 9 through 12. I humbly urge you to give thought as we extend this philosophical discussion while I put forward an argument which advocates for wise balance. In the conversation that follows, I'll make an effort to clarify why, in my perspective, integrating sexual education at this phase of educational growth may not be the most appropriate pedagogical decision. Firstly, the argument is that sex education may not be age appropriate for all students in this age group. Adolescents in grades 9 to 12 vary widely in terms of emotional and cognitive development. What is suitable for one student may not be suitable for another. Therefore, there is a concern that sex education could expose some students to information and topics that they are not ready to handle, potentially causing confusion, distress, or even emotional harm. Secondly, sex education should primarily be the responsibility of parents or guardians. The argument is that parents are better equipped to impart their values and beliefs regarding sex and relationships to the children. By including sex education in the curriculum, it could undermine the role of parents in educating their children about these sensitive topics, potentially leading to conflicts between the values taught at home and those taught in school. Furthermore, sex education in grades 9 to 12 may not be effective in achieving its intended goals. Research on the effectiveness of sex education programs has yielded mixed results, with some studies suggesting that comprehensive sex education does not significantly reduce the rates of sexual activity or teenage pregnancy. This raises questions about the resources and time spent on implementing these programs in school. Another concern is the potential for sex education to infringe upon the rights and values of certain religious and cultural groups. In a diverse society, there are varying beliefs and values when it comes to sex and relationships. People argue that mandatory sex education in schools may impose one set of beliefs on all students, which could be seen as a violation of religious freedom and cultural diversity. Lastly, there is a concern about the cost associated with implementing comprehensive sex education programs in schools. These programs often require specialized teachers, materials, and resources. There is the argument that these resources could be better allocated to other educational priorities, such as improving core academic subjects like math, sciences, or social studies, or addressing issues like bullying and mental health. In conclusion, it is crucial to weigh all arguments on both sides of the issue prior to deciding how to proceed in this circumstance. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaurya. And now I invite from the Sagar School, Tiana. Tiana, please start. No, my dear, you need to unmute yourself because you're not audible. Yes, she's unmuted. No, Tiana, you're still not audible, dear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Tiana, we can hear you.
Oh, that's good.
Though there is a slight a disturbance in the background. So you probably have to speak a wee bit loudly. Please go ahead. Yes, that's better.
Okay. All right, then I'll begin. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tiana Basumatri from the Sagar School, and thank you for giving me this chance to express my views supporting the motion. Sex education is an important part of a holistic school curriculum. We cannot ignore the fact that the youth will inevitably explore their sexuality, whether we like it or not. They need accurate and reliable information about sexual health to make informed decisions about their bodies. By making sex ed mandatory in schools, it ensures that all students receive the correct information regarding safe sex. Sex education goes beyond just teaching children about the physical aspects of sex. It teaches essential topics about consent, healthy relationships, and sexual identities. One of the primary benefits of sex ed is that it reduces the rates of teenage pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases by providing teenagers with accurate information about safe sex and contraception, better equipping them to make well-informed decisions that benefit not only the individual, but also their partners and societies. Moreover, sex education can also help break down stigmas and stereotypes surrounding sex. It creates a safe environment where children can feel comfortable discussing their concerns and questions without fear of judgment or discrimination. But of course, there has been significant opposition against sex education for teenagers in India. Many critics believe that sex education leads to promiscuity and irresponsible behavior between the two sexes, calling it a Western construct seeking to destroy Indian culture. However, it is important to know that sex education is not about encouraging indecency or experimentation. It is about helping teenagers make sensible choices about their sexuality in the future. Age-appropriate sex education can start very early if taught in a proper sequence. For example, we can start with basic concepts like good touch, bad touch, and personal boundaries. As the children grow, they can gradually learn about puberty, reproduction, and conception in a way that is appropriate for their age. A report from the Fourth National Family Health Survey, NHFS, reveals that there are 11.8 million teenage pregnancies in India. The data suggests that 23% of teenage girls in India become pregnant due to a lack of contraceptive devices and awareness. Hence, we can see how this case serves as an example of the devastating effects of inadequate sex education and also gives us a reason to move on towards a more inclusive approach towards this topic. In conclusion, sex education serves as an important means of endowing the youth with the knowledge and skills they need to navigate healthy relationships. It is important that schools and parents collaborate to ensure that teenagers receive proper sex education so that we can create a more safe and inclusive society for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiana. And now on the dais, we invite Jasmine Kaur. Jasmine Kaur. Are you ready? Jasmine Kaur, may we please have you? Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. And please start. You are audible. So please start.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all the delegates belonging to different schools and AFS authorities. I, Jasmine from school BCA Bihani Children's Academy, welcome you to our school campus virtually. Parents are the sex educators of the children, whether they do it in a good way or a bad way. However, there are some negative aspects lurking in the darkness, which should be taught to children by their parents only. Sometimes sex education can get ugly as it should be used carefully or the results can be even disastrous. However, all students have different nature and all students have their own different way or all students have their different way to accept such things as there are some introverts in the class. For them, it becomes difficult and it becomes an uncomfortable environment for them. Learning about sex before they are mature enough can lead to immoral behavior too, or their minds can get ignited to watch pornographic clips. As by giving sex education, some children can get paranoid to sex because some children have childish behavior. They are away from the real world, and there are some health issues due to it, like HIV, AIDS. So the children think that they are good, and it is better for them not to convey knowledge about it. At the same time, we should not forget that there can be rise in indecent behavior too. Sex education can turn into class jokes also, and way to harass some young boys or girls. Furthermore, too much safe sex education can turn into casual sex too. They might not concentrate on their studies and concentrate more on fun or frolic things. As nowadays we listen that children are uncomfortable to express their feelings toward their parents. So why don't they take use of internet, as it is a good source? Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Jasmine. And now the next speaker who likes to walk as she talks. So on your feet, Purva, whereas Freedom Sentinel School would be speaking in favor of the motion.
Hello.
Yes, you are.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Please start. Please start, Purva.
Okay. Today, I am going to talk about sex, a palpable, scruffy word used not only to denote the genders, but also adolescence, sexually transmitted diseases, sexuality, and more. In India, sex has always been one of the someone will hear words, and I believe that shouldn't be the case. A bright and cheerful morning to the distinguished members of the jury and my most discerning listeners. I am Purva V, someone who loves to delve deep into topics that are not exactly run of the mill. So I stand privileged to be granted an opportunity to talk about this issue. At the time when children discover their sexual identities, acquainting them with safe and reliable sources of knowledge is necessary. What the situation currently is, however, is that more than 70% of teens learn of such an important aspect of their lives through unreliable and potentially dangerous sources, from gossip to pornography. The internet is indeed a fantastic teacher if you're looking to learn how to bake a cake. For sex education, nah. I still shudder recounting the horror stories my mother would narrate of her adolescent years. When she got her first period, and completely unaware as to what it was, her equally clueless friends, armed with the knowledge of hearsay and Bollywood, convinced her it was some grave disease. And my poor granny, who one day overheard the elders saying, "No periods means yes pregnancy," the tormented soul assumed straight from grade 3 that she was pregnant. These aren't just amusing tales, but consequences of a significant knowledge gap. As of 2022, 67% of abortions in India are unsafe, causing nearly 8 deaths every day. Imagine the lives that could have been saved had they gotten proper guidance regarding such a topic. 30% of the entire child population has experienced some form of sexual crime, yet only around 65% of these crimes were reported. Remember Nirbhaya? One of the convicts was a juvenile, aged 14. So you see, this is not mere rhetoric, but hard facts gleaned from an extensive research. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people, real tragedies, lives that would have been different had they gotten just a bit more knowledge. Children need to be educated thoroughly on what should be consented and what should be counted as assault, what is good touch and what is bad touch. Our traditions are important, But if sharing a few outdated ones can shield even one person from sexual abuse, isn't that the real essence of sanskar? Parents may not feel comfortable in talking about sex with their children. Therefore, it becomes the responsibility of the school to provide the correct education in the right direction. If kids can handle trigonometry and Shakespeare at school, trust me, they can handle the truth about where babies come from. Of course, there must be certain guidelines. Teachers need to be guided thoroughly in order to teach the information in a highly professional and scientific manner. And there should be no vulgarity in disseminating the information. Proper sex education can save the youth of this country from straying in the wrong direction and ruining their lives. In conclusion, I would like to thank the school for providing me with this opportunity. Continuation of this would help the policymakers who formulate the curriculum gauge the need of the hour and hear the voice of the youth. Now, I leave you with this. Will we be known as those who are enlightened or those who are enshrouded? Must we continue in the same vein of ignorance or enlighten the youth of this country? Think about it. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Yes, that was rather convincing. And now the next speaker, I can see her in readiness.
I lost the access.
Are you able
Ma'am,
to
may I
hear
start?
us?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
No,
Okay.
she's Shraddha Arun.
And she is Shraddha.
Shraddha.
Shraddha, we are ready to hear you. Please start.
Can I get a thumbs up?
Hello,
in
ma'am.
case I'm audible?
The next speaker is Shraddha Arun from Delhi Public School, Udaipur.
Sir,
US Oswal is later. US Oswal आपका number सबसे last में आएगा. Just hold on.
If I'm audible, can I get a thumbs up? No response.
Yes, but this is Shraddha. Please note, this is Shraddha.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, esteemed judges, teachers, and respected opponents. I stand before you here to argue against the motion, sex education should be a part of the school curriculum for classes 9th to 12th. While I understand the importance of imparting knowledge about sexual health and relationships to our youth, I believe that the proposed age range is not suitable for such knowledge. Children in 9th to 12th grades are at different stages of emotional and physical development. What is appropriate for a 12th grader may not be for a 9th grader. By teaching sex education during this age range, we risk exposing younger students to information they may not be emotionally prepared to handle, leading to confusion and anxiety. Adolescents develop at different rates, both physically and emotionally. Some may be ready for in-depth discussions about sex and relationships, while others may not. Teaching sex education in high school may not account for these individual differences, potentially alienating students who are not ready for the material. Like, what about the queer kids? A heteronormative sex education curriculum is especially excluding of them. Speaking of individual differences, mandating sex education in high school may undermine the rights of parents to decide how and when they want to discuss these matters with their children, since parents have the primary responsibility for educating their children about sensitive topics like sex. It's important to respect the diverse beliefs and values of families. For example, when girl child in classes 6th or 7th get their first menstrual cycle, it is their mother that teaches them everything about periods, not their teachers. All that glitters is not gold. If not carefully implemented, sex education programs can inadvertently spread misinformation or promote certain agendas. It is crucial that we ensure that any curriculum taught to our students is evidence-based, unbiased, and free from political or ideological influences. While we risk the potential spread of wrong sexual practices, we also risk high-risk behaviors such as engaging in sexual activity.
The school curriculum may present the information with trimmed edges, not delving into the content entirely, or the teachers may find it a bit uncomfortable to discuss and not commit to the bit. They say half knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge. Young and impressionable teenagers may get intrigued by the content and not fully understanding the consequences and engage in inappropriate sexual activity. How are you going to stop them? In conclusion, I believe that the proposed age range is not suitable for teaching sex education. We should consider alternative approaches such as offering optional courses, providing resources for parents, tailoring the content to each student's needs and readiness levels. My opponents might say that this sex awareness in a nuptial age may reduce crime, but is that any guarantee? Are such crimes not committed by our educated adults? I rest my case with these lines by Alexander Pope. A little learning is a dangerous thing. Drink deep, or taste not the purient spring. These shallow draughts intoxicate our brains. Drink largely and sober us. Thank you.
That was well said. And now I invite
Kritika.
Krutika. Krutika,
US Oswald.
US Oswald
ma'am.
School.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes. Yes, you are. Please start
Thank you,
your
ma'am.
speech.
Hello. Quality of sex education can bring world peace. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kritika Girase, student of US Oswald English Academy. Would like to share my view in the favor of topic sex education should be part of school curriculum for class 9 to 12. What is sex education and why it is important? Firstly, sex education is health education. But many people think it's all about sex and reproduction. Oh, really? Know that sex education is designed in such a way that it helps youngsters to know about their own body. When puberty brings dramatical physical and mental change to unprepared child, at that time, sex education plays an important role. It teaches child that every change is happening in body are normal. Everyone is going to experience that. It teaches child to love themselves for who they are. It teaches child to respect opposite gender, other gender, and girls having period instead of laughing on them. And that's the importance of sex education. Believe me, if we are not providing our students sex education, we are failing them at home. We are failing our adolescents in school. We are failing our responsible adult in society. Sex education is essential even at an early stage with age-appropriate topic. Every student should know that they can decide who can touch them and who cannot. According to National Family Health Survey, 11.8 million teenage pregnancy occurred in India. Why? Due to lack of sex education. Proper sex education will hold teenage pregnancy and unwanted pregnancy rate. It will lead to child privation from child abuse, rape cases, and many more things. It will know about safety and consent. Lack of sex knowledge lead a child to popping up EPs which are literally damaging the health of girls. WHO says that 6% of India's population has some or other of sexual disease. Why? Due to lack of sex education. And ICMR report says that 43% of Indian men have some sexual problem. Still, 23% still hesitate to even go to doctor. Wow, our awkwardness is literally damaging our health. Why to be awkward about own sense organ? Our awkwardness is not important than our sense organs, than our health. We should know that our sense organs, how they perform, how our reproductive organ perform. Every child should know this. Against about that, parents have fear that what if the sex education will engage child in sex? Oh, come on. Studies have shown that sex education will not engage the child in sex, but sexually aware students are more likely to say no to unprotected sex. They know what are good and bad effects of sex at early age. If parents will not provide sex education, if school will not provide sex education, then the curious mind of child will seek information from outside the world. The misinformation can even lead the child destruction of life, destruction of his healthy relationship, and addiction to pornography. That's why I strongly believe that sex education should be part of school curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. And now, dear appreciators, Sorry. Please note this is the last speaker, Ria M. Gupta, from the same school, and she would be speaking against the motion. This is the last speaker of the day. Please start, Ria. Ria, we are ready to hear you. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start. And you're audible, of course. Please start.
Okay, ma'am. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I'm Riya Gupta of class 10 from US Oswald English Academy, standing here to present my views against the topic sex education should be the part of the school curriculum for class 9 to 12. Do you know why I strongly believe that sex education should not be the part of the Indian schools? The answer lies in the rich culture and the family values that the Indians are embedded with. Teaching sex education in a secular way ignores the moral value of given by the family and hurts the religious sentiment of the people. As as every religion has their own limitation on what should be sexually acceptable and not. Even many of the children are not mentally prepared to go through the material on such a sensitive issue because the individual differences and the national modesty is not considered by the school. Honestly speaking, sex education offers a practical knowledge about how to use condom, how safe sex is practiced, how to avoid unwanted pregnancy, etc., etc. Provision of too much of information is killing the innocence of the children. Already, web series, television, internet, print media, everywhere, sex has been fantasized in such a way that it builds up the curiosity in the mind of the youth to experience it. Over that, sex education is also normalizing sex among the youth by teaching them how safe sex is practiced, how not to be get caught by using condoms, pills, IUD method. Learning about this thing reduces the fear of the children about teen pregnancy, transmission of diseases, and give them a full freedom to do whatever they want to do. As a result, many of the children are indulged in these activities and destroying their career. Sadly, sex education never ever talked about reduced pollination or meeting the spiritual needs of the children. It has always focused on the body, but the real concern is soul, and we need to understand this. At last, I want to say that teaching about sex before the children are mature enough to handle a relationship even ignites a curiosity leading a immoral behavior. So the children should be encouraged to establish love, trust, and respect in a relationship before giving it a carnal desire. Therefore, I strongly believe that sex education should not be the part of the school curriculum for class 9 to 12 or any classes. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, dear. Yes, so now I request Anjum ma'am to take charge. And before she says something, I would just like to say that I, for one, was extremely pleasantly surprised at the bold yet casual way the children spoke, even whether they read or they spoke. The content was there, and I so much appreciate that they were able to verbalize, like somebody said, a topic not bandied about much. So over to you, Anjum ma'am, and thank you, children. I would first want all of us to clap for you because you all were amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. I think that it is the children who are really deserving of this applaud. And it was so nice that all through this entire one and a half hour, every participant was being heard so intently by our judges. I could see their smiles. I could see that they are really listening and trying to understand. Most of the times as humans, we listen to this phone. It's very few times that we listen to understand. And I think they were really trying to understand the perspective of the students. And, honestly, Sachin, once again, thank you for being adamant about taking this topic ahead, because I was like, if they take this topic, what if the same points that the movie has been talking about are being replicated by the students? But no, they had such innovative take on it. In fact, they went far beyond than what just the movie said. And that was very, very refreshing. So thank you, children, for putting forth your unadulterated thoughts on this forum, because I think that is what matters. When we speak your mind out, when we speak your heart out, because once you're out of school life, I'm sure in school you get a lot of platforms wherein the teachers allow you to put forth your thoughts. But after school life, you need to have the conviction in your thoughts and actions that you get the courage to speak up like this. And I think that in a way you have prepared yourself for that today. So congratulations to each one of you. And before I request the judges to speak, if there are any coordinators present on this group, I would love to listen from you that what did you feel about this endeavor of the AFS West Zone, and how do you feel that more practices like this, wherein children are being given a chance to speak up, will help in grooming our next generation? Any coordinators here? Okay, children, you can volunteer to speak. Who would like to speak? And how did you feel while you were, expressing yourself? Was there a tinge of hesitation in you, or did you feel, oh my God, how is it going to sound? And was it the first time you were explicitly using the word sex? Was it the first time? Because I don't remember that me being a 14 or a 15-year-old and using this word so effectively, I will say, appropriately. So any student who would like to express?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah, but for all this experience, it's actually quite nice because I've never really been into a lot of debates or speaking skills. So, I just wanted to say thank you for I just want to say thank you for all for being able to host this wonderful experience. And yeah.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is ours, because I think that we got a chance to get an insight into the psyche of today's generation. So I think in a way we are the true beneficiaries over here, because once we know our children as teachers, we will be able to deliver better in our classrooms, because we truly believe that relevance in today's education is the key. The more relevant you are, the more easily we are able to connect with our learners. So thanks to you, Tiana. And any other student who would like to speak? Or any other coordinators who are present here from other schools?
Thank you for the opportunity for let me speaking on this topic. It was really interesting to talk about this.
Thank you, Diviman. And it really, really matters because I think after knowing your thoughts, your ideas, I think it will allow us teachers to alter our ways in the classroom, which is so important, because as a teacher, we die when we become stagnated in our approaches. But I think that, opportunities like this really helps us unlearn a lot of things and relearn a lot of things and innovate and, get innovative with our classroom transaction strategies. So thank you, Diviman, for that.
Here I would like.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to put in a word here, not exactly a word. I always say teaching is a mutual learning process. And today, children with their forthcoming views have actually probably given us a hint or two. And while thinking about this topic, we thought that the policymakers, when they formulate the curriculum, maybe they also need an exposure about what the children actually think. Are they reluctant and hesitant? Or are they open to the idea? Till what level do they want to be taught? Do they want to be segregated, or do they want to have a combined class? Do they actually want to have an exam about it, for heaven's sake? Like, what would the children think about it, Because see, these are the topics. I mean, I with my white hair can claim that when I was in school, I would have probably been punished had I uttered the word out aloud. So from that, time, so I'm so glad that I'm experiencing this moment where there are children across the country at such a short notice. They are ready to speak their heart out. And they say it's no longer sex. It is, out aloud, out there in your face. So yes, children, very nice of you, very bold of you. And I know the appreciators were appreciating you a lot and probably finding their job a wee bit difficult today, because so many of you were very impressive. And of course the marks will reveal the truth, but like we always say, that each and every student is a winner, not just in terms of your speech, but in terms of your courage to come ahead and speak. So I personally congratulate each and every student for their effort and performance. Good luck to you, children. And
yes, absolutely. And I'm sure, while we were talking, yeah, I think while we were talking, the scores are getting digitally calibrated, and I'm sure that, our jury have done a wonderful job. But, here, before I hand it over to the judges, I would like to mention this little anecdote from my life. When I was just maybe 14 years old, I have a cousin, she lived in the States, and she was as old as me, maybe a little younger. She was 11 years old that time. And herself and her mom had come over, and they were discussing, and she was saying that, can I go to the party and the prom? And the mother said, oh, yes, of course, you can. But remember the rule, okay? You cannot kiss until you are 16. The mother was so open with the daughter, telling that, oh, okay, you can go, but no kissing until 16. And I couldn't imagine, my God, my mother wouldn't even use the word kiss. And let alone giving me the permission to kiss at 16, but she wouldn't even, and that is where, I think these are instances like that when a love for cultural differences, you learn that you are open to differences and you are open to learning more. So this was something that came as a culture shock to me. And then as time grew by, and then I thought, oh my God, now 21 is the legal age, really? And just day before, I was talking to my co-teacher, and she was like, Anjum teacher, what happened? She will be talking about love letters, and I said, yes, we did it when we were in 8th standard or 9th standard. The teacher said, what are you saying? My 4th standard children are passing love letters. Like, oh my God, if 4th standard children can pass love letters, that means they are aware of their sexuality. If those feelings are being generated, they might not be physically fully developed, but those thoughts have started creeping in. And I think it should be addressed at the right moment and the right time. When they say that catch them young, that means, guide them properly when it is the right age. So I think that this was a fantastic endeavor session from your school's side, that that our students got a chance to speak up. And without further ado, I would request our esteemed panel to please express their opinions and thoughts about this little endeavor of the AFS Western.
Thank you very much. Do you want me to begin first?
Yes, ma'am. Whoever. Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. You can unmute yourself and say good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes, children, please do.
Okay. So, unmute yourself and say good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Okay. So, how are you feeling right now?
Elated?
How many of you are elated?
I think most of us.
Okay, very good.
We can begin.
So the amount of preparation that must have gone into it, I can understand. Okay, because most of the schools, they are very busy with so many activities, exams nearing. Okay, some of them are already having exams, but still you could devote your time for a topic that is not common, a topic that probably needs research. And I could see there were so many students, those who would convincingly put forth what they felt along with the data that they had collected. So research work has gone into it, collection of data has gone into it, your convincing power, your communication, all these things has gone into it. So big round of applause for all of you. for learning all these skills. Okay, and love letter thing that Ms. Anjum Panna said, I am really happy that these days the students have started writing love letters, because love letter is something like, your writing skills are improving. I'm happy for that. And actually, if you are able to express yourself properly in front of anyone, it means that whenever you have a question, whenever you have a doubt, okay, whenever you are unsure, you would be able to put forth that in front of someone. So at least you would not be a sufferer. You wouldn't suffer. Most of the times what happens is we hesitate in asking for something, and then we have our own preconceived notions and we work according to that, and that brings pain in our life. How many of you understood what I said? So don't go by what you don't assume. Ask, check. Okay, so these things are very important. Yes, topic was something that actually parents should teach their kids. That's very important. And in school, most of the schools have already begun with this good touch and bad touch right from pre-primary, I believe. Okay, so there are sessions that have been conducted. There are sessions that are being conducted in most of the schools regarding sex education. I believe the counselors are doing this work, the class teachers are doing this work during the class teacher period. So children are aware of things, but then that is the case only for one part of the country. But there are places wherein children are yet to be educated as far as sex education is concerned. I love the way all of you, have put forth your views, your thought process. Probably you Google things. Some of you read. You know what you have to do, children. Like, something that puts me off is that when you are not at all prepared and read the entire thing, don't do that. Just keep things for reference, as in, and then get back the flow. But avoid reading the entire thing right from the beginning till the end. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, before we proceed to other judge, I have uploaded a participation certificate link in our Zoom meeting also in the chat box, and as well as in the WhatsApp group. So students, you can fill it up and you get your participation certificate there itself. The physical certificates of school participation as well as the certificates of merit, we will courier to the school. Over to Anjum.
Yes, Amina ma'am, all over to you. We would love to hear how did you feel. And
Yes.
thank you once again for listening so intently to every participant who was speaking.
At the beginning, I thought, my God, 3 hours of Zoom session. I mean, it's so difficult to, sit online, but every participant brought forth such interesting points. Students, well done, such a good job. The very fact that today we are able to have a debate on sex education in schools shows that, we are open to talking about this, and that itself is very encouraging for me to know. So kudos to the organizers for taking up this topic. I also feel, I love that ma'am already covered so many points. I also love the fact that you all had data to quote of research studies. That's a great way to support your ideas. And I think what debate helps us to do is to be able to think from multiple perspectives. So I loved that students were thinking on regarding what parents might feel and what religious communities might feel, and what happens to spiritual development if we start talking about sexual education. So I loved that we brought in so many varied perspectives, and in fact that's the skill, that's a life skill, right? To be able to do perspective taking and think from multiple perspectives. And so even though your personal opinion might have been different from what you were debating for or against, but to be still able to, stand in somebody else's shoes and look at the world from there. So extremely good job done. There are so many, words that I picked up from this. Like somebody said, value-free sex education, or sex education is actually health education. Those were absolutely wonderful points. I'm not going to say all of the ones that came across, but these are the words that have stayed with me. So good job, students. It was absolutely wonderful and an enriching experience to hear your opinions.
Thank
you so much, ma'am. And I can also see that our regional head of the West Zone, Madam Seema Sheikh, is here. So, Sachin, do you want her to speak now or after we are able to give the results out? It's your call, Sachin.
नहीं मैम, लेट सीमा जी का हक पहले बनता है, मेरी मदरली फिगर है वो, so पहले उन्हें बोलने देते हैं.
Okay, over to you, Seema.
Thank you so much. See, all of them make it a point for making me feel that I am old. So everyone will say, motherly figure hai. So I know that I have to take care of my age now. But yeah, I think I couldn't be throughout. But yes, in between I did drop in every time. And I think that this was a wonderful topic which Viraj Sriram has taken up, because there is a taboo. And recently I saw that Oh My God movie also. And at that time I realized that actually this movie should be shown to the children so that all their doubts get clarified, and their anxieties are put to rest. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen because the movie again has an age bar and a tab. But I think irrespective of whether we show the movie or not, as teachers, we need to constantly talk about it, share it with the children and discuss with them. Just now when this session was going on, I was talking to my girls in the school, right, about health and menstruation cycle. And, some of the girls were looking down and I said, why do you have to look down? This is a very, very, it is a biological happening and you should be proud that you are a woman. And the other day when I was having a very heart-to-heart talk, they said, ma'am, we are really, when we are into this stage, our family doesn't really treat us well. So as I said, so many girls are first-generation learners, their parents are illiterate. So I think that this kind of topics should really be encouraged, where children start thinking on with a different perspective. And I think this kind of an approach is very essential, which Viraj Sriram has taken. And for AFS for giving us this opportunity to take it on a national platform. That was the best part of it. Because many times from the head office, we don't get consents for the programs that we intend to take, because there are certain issues related to it. But AFS International and Diva Bajil was so open to it, and she allowed us to take this topic. I know Sachin struggled in the beginning to get schools because schools were so hesitant. Parents were not ready to send their children. This was the biggest issue, that parents said, no, we are not going to allow our girls to talk about it, or our girls to be with the boys and talk about it. This is something which is against our culture. So these are the things which I feel we really need to think about, work on it, and try to bring about that desired change. Once again, a big thank you to Meena, my friend, and to dear Samina, my daughter now, I should say. Yes, for being over here and sitting for 3 hours listening to all of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, ma'am. It's always a pleasure.
So over to Sachin.
Yes, ma'am.
And I must tell you, we are in a heavily air-conditioned room, and Sachin sir was repeatedly working furiously on his laptop, and he was going fuse. So I would want to know what he has to say.
Yes, to be very frank, the topic was already bold, and I think day before yesterday itself I was discussing with Anjum that the age of puberty is going down, and we are India is country where legal age of consent is now getting to 21. So why this contrast is there when the puberty age is going down and then the legal sex age is somewhere on 21? Just we are making it a taboo type of thing. And that's why I could listen so many of good views from the people who are really victim of this taboo. and that's what we needed to do it. I was really very adamant on the topic that no, but let me give this credit to our honorable principal sir, Mr. Sukhjit Singh, who is quite busy with his some meetings. He was there in the meeting, he was listening you, but he had to leave. He initiated this topic in a meeting, and then we supported. Even the topic credit has to be given to him. All the support which was given to us by him, that was really phenomenal, and I can say that we are in a good leadership. So that is what thanks to sir, though he is not here, but it's my duty to say thank you to him. Coming to the scoring point, again it was something so close that the first and second school, they are having difference of only 0.5 marks. That is so close. Means we could see 1 or 2, 3, but 0.5, really I don't have any words to say. So let us go with first individual things. We are going to give 3 best speakers out of this, irrespective of for or against the topic. I'm proud to announce here the third best speaker is not from our state, is not from Maharashtra. Shraddha Arun from Delhi Public School, Udaipur. Now the second one, Shraddha, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Shraddha?
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Congratulations.
yes. Shraddha, you can clap for yourself, and we clap for your courage to talk on this.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And I want now Avni also to be in the same window, because she is the second best speaker. Avni.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Let me just give you the difference between Avni's and Shraddha's marks. Avni has got 76 and Shraddha could score 75.5.
Oh.
This is the difference you can see. Collectively, the first best speaker. Now this makes me prouder, because the speaker is just besides me. You can imagine she is none other than Miss Purva from Virashram Centennial School, Purva V. There are 2 Purvas from our school, Purva V, Purva Vipin. She is the best speaker with 78 marks. And let me tell you Purva's experience early in the morning, when I was confronting that how come your parents allowed you to talk on this issue, both the girls. Literally Purva was questioned by her father that how could you talk on this topic type of thing. He was open to do it, he was open, but still hum nahi dekhte, we don't see that where children have reached. And Anjum has already said that class 6 ka bacha 6 4, class 1 and 2 now they talk about girlfriend and being boyfriend. they don't even hesitate to say that she's my girlfriend. Might not be with that explicit way, but still. So let's go for the teams. Again, in school teams 0.5 ka difference hai. I will talk with third school first. The third school, the last minute entry. Yesterday at somewhere in the evening, I got a call that sir, the form is closed, but our students are prepared. US Oswal Academy Boisar has received the third rank with collectively 137 points from both the participants. Judges and participants, compilation of both the participants. Second school with 151 points is Virashram Centennial School, and the first school with 151.5 is Delhi Public School, Udaipur. Now here I make an announcement, because when we run our national competition tomorrow, the same tradition I want to follow here. When we organize any competition and we share any rank, despite the judges being outside or external, we don't take the rank for ourselves. We offer our rank to the preceding school. to the next one. So that's why we move out of this ranking competition, and I offer the third position to be given to Children's Academy group of schools who has scored 129 points. So the rankings will be Delhi Public School, Udaipur. Second rank will be given to US Oswal Academy, and the third rank will be given to Children's Academy group of school. Congratulations, students. You can see the happiness on everybody's faces.
Excuse me.
Yes, yes.
Can you please specify which branch of Children's Academy?
It is Children's Academy group of schools. Just hold on. I'll read out the names.
Yes,
read out the names. Mrunank was in which team? Mrunank.
Right. That's us. Thank you so much. Mrinang
Oh,
Shah.
you can clap some more.
Mrunank and Anvi, right? Am I right?
Yes. So ma'am, is it Thakur complex or is it Malad? Can you please confirm, ma'am?
No. They are not mentioned here. They have just mentioned a Children's Academy group of schools.
Okay.
So I think it was Mrunank and Anvi's
School. So congratulations to all the participants. I know, I'm sure you guys won't feel disheartened. It was a brilliant performance, and the judges had to do their duty. So in no way, can you assume that you were anything less or more. It was an open field. So congratulations to each and every one of you. Be proud of yourselves, and we'll see you again next year.
Before we say goodbye, I would like to thank Anjum and Seema ma'am, whole AFS West Zone, AFS India, and the student participants who supported to this difficult and bold topic. And I wish that every year we could come with the same, not same topic, but the same difficulty level where children need to express, they need to be made bold. So congratulations everyone, and thank you one and all.
And a special thanks due to our appreciators. In fact, I like that word. They are not the judges, they were appreciative. So thank you so much. Have a good day and see you soon. Good luck in all your endeavors and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much, and we take your leave now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I just want to be ensured that everybody has got participation certificate.
Please check.